Listen to this go. Beautiful. Jamie Coward on the Norton away next. And the tap on the shoulder now for the Black Eagle Racing MB of Michael Dunlop. Goes over to the right hand side of the board. Michael Rutter. Michael Rutter on the Ripley Land Racing Seeley. Next away is Alan Oversby. That's the Davis Motorsport Honda, and here's William Dunlop on the second. '72 four-cylinder replicas there, Oversby and Dunlop. Here's Maria on the pattern. And now Josh Brooks on the Team Winfield pattern that won a year ago. Fast start from Josh. Here's Dean Harrison on the second Black Eagle Racing MB. Linstall on the Enfield. Smooth start there by Ollie. No one at 11. So next we will have Chris Swallow, and Ian Hutchinson is down there watching, and we wish him well with his recovery. Here's Chris Swallow. DSA, no one at 13 and no one at 14, because the next one under the arch is number 15, Dominic Herbertson. So no Danny Webb at number 14, a disappointment for the Dunhill Racing team with that Norton machine. But Dominic Herbertson, the third of the Davis Motorsport Hondas, gets the flag dropped, and well, a little bit of an issue getting off the line, but he's away now. Let's have a listen. Yeah, just looking at the left-hand side, Bill Swallow on the Glebe Racing pattern safely away, and now the Dave Kenner Racing Norton of James Cowton. Another Norton next, the Izzard Racing Norton of Michael Russell. Glorious sounds. And now the CSC Racing Honda of James Hillier. Force Saigo will be next away on the Igley Vincent. So a non-starter at number 21 position. 22 Mark Parrott, as we were hearing, the Chas Mortimer Limited Norton didn't get through scrutineering. Well picked up though, but here's Mark Herbertson away. Mark on the changing machine on the Norton there, number 31. Here's 33, Steve Ferguson away. On the Greenhill Racing Honda, Heffin Owen on the Seeley will be next away, number 26. KHI Honda now of Kieran Hankin. And the Owens like their Seeleys. Here's Meredith away. And the Team Gimbert Racing Honda, Dave Madston Migdal, is safely away too. Beautiful sounds. That's 21 away. That is Nick Jeffries on the Goatland Garage Norton. Another Seeley, another Owen, Bob Owen. And next away the Vincent of Bruno Leroy. Jeff Bates Racing Honda next of Alec Whitwell, number 46. And another pattern away next. It'll be Dave Matravers, but let's go to Glen Helen and Dave Christian.
Yes, thanks, Tim. We're awaiting the arrival of the first man on the road here, and just listening for a little bit of bike noise coming up the valley. Not quite hearing anything yet. And it should be the MV Augusta. And here is some noise, but let's just see who's caught who on the road. There is a bike interview now. Flicks it out on Glen Helen 2. Down a gear into the left-hander, and that's the number 2 bike of Jamie Coward. So no Ian Locker here at Glen Helen on the opening lap. Looks like his luck may have deserted him unless Jamie Coward's really got the hammer down. Here is the next machine into the left hand. A little bit of a shudder, it tips that in. But that's Michael Dunlop. And he's safely through here as well on his opening lap. And Jamie Coward, 5:23 for the sector time. And that's a reasonably good start for him. Next machine interview. A little flick to the right, into the left hand. A big puff of blue smoke out of the back of that. And that's Alan Oversby. And closely followed on the road by number 6, William Dunlop. And we'll have a quick look at the times very shortly. Next machine into the left-hander, that's Maria Costello. She got a great start, but Josh Brooks is catching her on the road. Josh Brooks with a real flyer there, and he's just caught Maria Costello on the road, so that puts him ahead of her on corrected time, and he tops the leaderboard so far here at Glen Helen on the opening lap. It's Josh Brooks leads William Dunlop, number 6, by 7 seconds on the opening lap, with Maria Costello in third. Things will get a little bit complicated later on. Some riders doing a 2-and-2 strategy with the fuel stops. Some the splash and dash we heard from Chris there, and some are actually going to have a go at 4 laps. So we're not really going to know who's got the lead of the race until this timing point here on lap 4. And up until then, it'll be a little bit deceptive because we're going to see riders clearing. We'll see riders appearing at the top end of the leaderboard when in reality they're a little bit down on adjusted time. At number 10, Ollie Linsdell, nice and steady from Ollie on his opening lap. We hear Michael Rutter has slid off at Ballacrane, but rider perfectly okay. So Michael Rutter out of the race on the opening lap at Ballacrane, but perfectly okay. So desperately bad news for Michael. But it is Josh Brooks leads William Dunlop by 7 seconds. In third place, number 7, Maria Costello. She's just a third of a second down on William Dunlop. Next machine into the left-hander again, nice and steady from Chris Swallow. Making sure he gets it round. As Chris Boyd mentioned earlier on, this really is a race of attrition. That's 15, Dom Herbertson. And 16, catching him on the road is Bill Swallow. So Bill Swallow up on Dominic Herbertson. And Bill Swallow doesn't quite feature at the top 5. It is Maria Costello third. Jamie Coward, number 2, is in 4th. And Jamie Coward in 4th. He's half a second down on Maria Costello. 17 comes through. That's James Cowton on the Norton. We hear Ian Locker has retired at Greba. Rider perfectly okay, but bad luck for Ian Locker. He is out at Greba on lap 1, but perfectly okay. Michael Russell safely through here on his opening lap, just hanging on to 8th place at the moment. That's number 19, swings round here, James Hillier on that Honda, starts to make his climb up towards Cronkovody. But at the top end at the moment, it's Josh Brooks and William Dunlop, just waiting for the little timing adjuster to show on the computer here that they've made it through at Bluff Bridge. We'll get an extra update there as to how that lead is going for Josh Brooks. That's number 20 through Horst Seiger. We hear Dean Harrison has retired at Ballagary on the opening lap. So that's Dean Harrison retired at Ballagary. Once again, rider perfectly okay. But and again, terrible luck for Dean Harrison together with Ian Locker and Michael Rutter on the opening lap here. That's 31, Mark Herbertson through, just outside the top 10 for Mark Herbertson. But again, nice steady away on his opening lap. Next machine into the left-hander. Lovely big puff of blue smoke as he starts to wind that throttle open. Steve Ferguson through on his opening lap as well. Jamie Coward, first man on the road, is now at Bluff Bridge. And closely followed on the road by Michael Dunlop. So those two will be going neck and neck down Solby Straight a bit later on. 26 and 34 both three at 26 Hepburn, and 34 is Kieran Hankin. and they're again both through on their opening lap. No change to that top 5. It is Josh Brooks, number 8, leads William Dunlop, number 6, by 7 seconds. In third place, number 7, Maria Costello. She's a third of a second down on William Dunlop. In fourth place, number 2, Jamie Coward, half a second down on Maria Costello. And in fifth, number 3, Michael Dunlop. He is 3 seconds back on Jamie Coward. 40 and 27 through here. 40, Meredith Owen. 27 is Dave Madsen Mignall. And we just have a look at Meredith Owen. He did go well in qualifying, but no, not quite on it so far. 28 and 21. 28 is Bob Owen. 21, Nick Jeffries. And they're both together on the road through here, but again, nobody making an impression in the top 5. Outside the top 5, in 6th place, it's number 5, Alan Oversby. He's 1 second down on Michael Dunlop. In 7th, number 16, Bill Swallow. He's a third of a second down on Oversby. And in 8th place, number 18, Michael Russell. He's 6 seconds down on Bill Swallow. 32 and 41 through. 32, Dave Matravers, and 41, Bruno Leroy. And I got up to 8th, I think. In 9th place, number 15, Dominic Herbertson, half a second down on Michael Russell. And making up your top 10, it's number 17, James Cowton, who is 1 second back on Dominic Herbertson. Back to you at the grandstand.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
Extended lead for Josh Brooks at Ballaugh Bridge, 12.4 seconds ahead of Newman in second, number 2 Jamie Coward. William Dunlop is down to third, Maria Costello down to fourth, but it's pretty marginal, the gaps that they have behind Coward. But Brooks, 12.4 is lead. So Harrison at Ballagary out, Locker at Greba out, Rutter at Ballacrane out, Sulby quickest, Josh Brooks 146.8 miles per hour, and another pattern, Maria Costello second quickest, 142.5. Let's go to Chris Boyd at Ramsey Hairpin.
We're listening for the roar to rise. We're waiting for Jamie Coward, we think probably will be first on the road. Bike number 2, but he did have Michael Dunlop in fairly close attention. Nothing sweeping into view yet as we look down the road towards Stella Maris. We can't hear a great rumble just at the moment, listening as we take the cans off. We can now. Noise just starts to rise a little bit. They'll be heading up May Hill into Whitegates, then on into the right-hander here at Stella Maris before everything on the brakes and down through the box into us here at the Ramsey Hairpin. So we continue to wait. Where is the first man on the road? We think it should be Coward. He was first through the Sulby speed trap. Is only third quickest there, 137.5. Here we go, flashes into sight. It is Coward on the Craven Manx stud. Nice and neat and tidy in a way up the hill towards the waterworks. Michael Dunlop was in fairly close attention to him, but seems to be dropping back a little bit. At Ballaugh, Michael's in 6th place race position-wise. It's Brooks who leads Coward by 12.4. Then William Dunlop, 0.8 of a second down on Coward. Maria Costello in 4, 0.6 down is the second person. We're right, a burst into view. It is Michael Dunlop. On the Black Eagle Racing machine. Just gets a chime back in a way up the hill. Here's Josh Brooks. He's up to third on the road now. Now he's neat line and he's followed by William Dunlop. So Brooks has passed William Dunlop. So they get away from here, and that means that Brooks's lead has increased. As we get Mike Sen, we'll give you those times in just a second. Maria Costello arrives into view. And the team back. Buga Patton, she gets away as well. So Brooks now leads by 21.01 seconds from Coward. 8 leads 2. Then William Dunlop shows in third. Only 0.8 of a second down on Coward, so a big battle still going on there. Maria Costello very close in attention as well, just 1.6 seconds down on Dunlop, with Michael Dunlop a further 15 or so seconds back. We seem to be missing Alan Oversby, who probably should have been here by now. So he was in 5th place, so that will move Michael into that 5th place. And then at Ballaugh, Bill Swallow was holding 7th, Dominic Herbertson in 8th, Michael Russell 9th, and James Cowton rounding out the top 10 as the road does momentarily go quiet. 21 seconds then for Brooks over Coward, but of course we don't know who's stopping when, who's stopping at all, who needs to try and build up a buffer in order to get through if they can, or take the stop if they need to. It's really going to be lap 4 before this all sort itself out, although obviously we have lost Rutter, who we know was one of those who was going to try and do the whole race on 4. Those big name retirements are worth reminding ourselves about. Ian Locker at Greba, Dean Harrison at Ballagary, and Michael Rutter just slid off at Ballacrane, but perfectly okay as we get Oliver Linsdell, winner of this race in 2013, first edition. Big look round as he went round the hairpin. Don't know if he thought somebody was in close attention or whether he was trying to look down to something. Going to look round there, but he has gone away off up the hill. Here is Dominic Herbertson on the Davies Motorsport Honda, and Bill Swallow as well. And Bill moves up into 5th place. He sneaks ahead of Michael Dunlop. So it's Brooks, Coward, Dunlop, Maria Costello, then Bill Swallow. Back to Tim.
Yeah, we've just got news that Alan Oversby, we'd spotted he was overdue at Ramsey Hairpin. The reason he was black flagged at Solby Bridge, he has been allowed, though, to restart, so he will be credited with the time that he was stopped there at Solby Bridge. So that's why Alan Oversby's a little bit late, overdue coming to you. Stopped at Solby Bridge, black flagged, restarted again. Back to you, Chris.
He has, in fact, just popped through here now. The bike's smoking a little bit as he came round Ramsey Hairpin, but he did look to be going okay. Bike 19 is our next customer here. Oh, very racy line by James Hillier. Oh, that was superb. That was almost like TT style. Really just, there wasn't much thought for the machinery, it has to be said there. He was full on there, really flying around the hairpin. That was the quickest run round we've seen here so far. So we'll have to wait then and see how that shakes out with that time allowance. Alan Oversby shows down in last place of the 13 riders we've had through here at the moment. We'll have to see how much of a time adjustment he gets, because obviously he was in the top 5 at Ballaugh, and so fair dues from the organisers. They black flagged him, everything's okay, let him proceed, and they'll need to give him the adjustment that puts him back in a true-ish race position. Or Steiger on the Egley Vincent. Some of these sights and sounds are absolutely tremendous. This has to be one of the greatest moving motor shows anywhere in the world we've seen this morning. So we have Mark Herbertson. The Norton chimed in and away very, very nicely. So, albeit that we'll need to find out where Oversby slots back in. It's Brooks, as we were saying, by 21 seconds. Then William Dunlop, 0.88 of a second down on Coward. Maria Costello, 1.6 down on Dunlop in 4th. Then Bill Swallow in 5th, 15.5 seconds down. That's Steve Ferguson going through. He's going very, very well in practice on his Greenhill Racing Honda. And he's followed by a smoking Kieran Hankin. Just a little bit of smoke as he went down through the box on the way into the hairpin here. Nothing to be worried about. Just did put out a puff of smoke, but of course you've got to expect that with this style of racing. So Dunlop then in 6th behind Swallow, and Dominic Herbertson in 7th, Michael Russell in 8th, Cowton in 9th, Hillier in 10th, but all those places from about 5th downwards, dependent upon the time adjustment that Alan Oversby does receive on the Davies Motorsport Honda, and that will have to be factored back in as the road does go quiet. Meantime, the leaders have made it through the bungalow. Josh Brooks now leading by 27.8 seconds at the bungalow over Jamie Coward, with Maria Costello up to 3rd, past William Dunlop. As we get bike 40 through here, Meriden Owens. Sounds well on the Sealy. And Nick Jeffries. And 28 as well, which is Bob Owen. And 27, Dave Madston-Migdal. So all of these runners coming through. Jeffries slots into 19th, Bob Owen just ahead of him in 18th, Meriden Owen in 20th, and Dave Madston-Migdal in 21st. David Grabbers on the Round Oak pattern. Sounds well as it goes up the hill. We'll just go back to the bungalow then. Brooks leads 27.8 seconds ahead of Coward. Maria Costello just 1 1 second literally behind Coward in second, so she's really flying on the pattern. And then William Dunlop is in fourth, 2.1 seconds down on Maria Costello, with Michael Dunlop, the other rider through there, showing in fifth. But here at Ramsey, he was down in, sixth, so there's only Bill Swallow really to wait for to come ahead of him, plus Oversby once the adjustment kicks in. There we are, they're heading back to the grandstand. We'll fly over and follow them there. That's all for Ramsey Airpit for lap 1.
Thank you, Chris. Cronknamona, the light is on for Jamie Coward, bike number 2. And, of course, looking up at the bungalow, it was Josh Brooks that was leading, but they were in pretty close attendance, and light not on at the moment for number 8, Josh Brooks there. So, we'll just wait and see on that one. He is there now, I'm glad to say, and he's improved his lead. 31.8 is the advantage that he has over Jamie Coward at the bungalow. Maria Costello had got herself back in to third place ahead of William Dunlop. Bill Swallow up into fifth, but it should be James Cowton that we see first through here at the grandstand. Sorry, Jamie Coward on the Tedworth Norton, the single-cylinder bike built by Tedworth and John Sunter, and no stop required as well. Here he is. And 108.34. Remember, he said to Chris, if I can do 4 laps of 108, see where we are. I'm going to be pretty well placed, though. But Josh Brooks on the pattern should be next into view, our race leader on the Winfield pattern. And, I'm sure that Roger and Pat will be very happy to see him. Here he is. And that's quicker than he's gone all week as well. 111.30 miles per hour for Josh Brooks. And, the margin that he now has, let's just check that out. Need to get that onto grandstand. So he's 33.2 ahead. As number 8 goes through, 6 through there, William Dunlop, closely followed though by Maria Costello, and Maria Costello is confirmed in third place. So Josh Brooks, number 8, leads Jamie Coward, number 2, by 33, and here is Michael Dunlop into the pits. I'm sure this isn't scheduled, Chris.
Well, they were out and they were ready for a Marty Marlowe and the team. He's come in there now and he's actually killed the engine as he went past the old stop box. I'm not sure if he's going to continue. He's off the bike, unfortunately. No, it looks like it's done, I think. Yeah, they're going to back the bike up. So Michael Dunlop, Tim, is a retirement out of round about 5th or 6th place.
Yeah, he was straight off the bike there. But Josh Brooks, then, the leader by 33.2 seconds ahead of number 2, Jamie Coward. Coward, in turn, is 1.5 seconds ahead of number 7, Maria Costello. And Maria is 5.3 seconds ahead of 4th place, number 6, William Dunlop. And, of course, showing in at 5th position, number 3, Michael Dunlop. But he was 47.4 down on brother William and is now confirmed as a retirement as the bike is wheeled away below us here. The number 3 with the letterbox grille at the front as well to keep the engine cool. So we await our next bike indicated at Cronknamona. We've got Bill Swallow, number 16, Dominic Herbertson, number 15, Michael Russell, number 18 is Alan Oversby as well, and we'll see if the credit is due to him. So we should next see number 15, Dominic Herbertson, into view, but the first 5 are well into their second lap now before we get the 6th bike past us here at the grandstand. So we're looking up Glen Crutchley Road and another bike coming into the pits here as one will go through. And that is 10 that's gone through, but it is Dominic Herbertson that has come in. Down to you, Chris.
Dominic around about 6th place he was when they went through Cronknamona. So Dominic in, not sure if this is scheduled or not. The team's straightened on the fuel, so it obviously is. So it's a 1-lap splash for him, and he's obviously going to try and do the rest of the 3 laps. Dominic does slot in to 6th place behind Bill Swallow. We've got Bill Swallow in number 16 too. And here is the smoking Alan Oversby. The number 4 bike is in and is smoking quite badly. As you say, here's the number 5 bike is in. Alan holds into, where was Alan? Let's have a little look. Well, through Cronknamona, he was in about 8th. Dominic Herbertson, the bike just not firing up for Dominic. He's giving it a good old push down the bottom. She finally chucks away now, and she is going. But 16 Swallows also there as well. Nice and steady, guys. What's Bill doing there? All on the throttle hand. Wow, that's precise. 59 kilometres an hour. Alan Oversby is in, so they've got that little air scoop there. Oh, a lot of fuel being wasted. Steady on, boys. A lot of fuel just dropping onto the floor there now. They've got the little Gardemo thing just putting a load of cool air onto number 5 bike, and hopefully she's going to fire back up again. We'll find out if she's been credited with that time. The Davis bike does fire up, and a lot of smoke, as you can see there, Tim Glover. Alan Oversby is away.
Simply why the black flag came out, but also through Ollie Lindsdale and James Hillier through too. So Josh Brooks then, a lap of 111.295 miles per hour. He's 33.2 seconds ahead of number 2, Jamie Coward. Coward is 1.5 ahead of number 7, Maria Costello. She is 5.3 ahead of number 6, William Dunlop. So Saiga goes through. 5th is number 16, Bill Swallow. He's 25.2 seconds down on William Dunlop. 6th is number 15, Dominic Herbertson. In 7th is number 18, Michael Russell. 8th is number 17, James Cowton. 9th is number 5, Alan Oversby. In 10th, number 19, James Hillier. Michael Dunlop, a retirement. 12th, so 11th now will be 31, Mark Herbertson. 12th will be number 10, Ollie Lindsdale. 13th will be number 20, Horst Saiga. And in 14th, it'll be number 12, Chris Swallow. And, well, it wasn't precise enough, Chris Kinley. Bill Swallow, 60.3, a 30-second penalty. Let's go to Glen Helen.
Yes, thanks for that, Tim. Jamie Coward just through here on his second lap, and splash and dash from the first lap is going to make it really, really confusing until we get here on lap 4. At Next Machine interview, it is the pattern of Josh Brooks. Lovely line, great corner speed, so Josh Brooks going really well. 36 seconds now his advantage over Jamie Coward. Pulled another 3 seconds out between the grandstand and here. Josh Brooks maybe now needs to start thinking about machine conservation. I know it's very early in the race, but a 36-second lead is very, very comfortable even at this stage. 2 machines interview now. 6 and 7 together on the road. William Dunlop, Maria Costello. Maria just ahead of William Dunlop there on the road, and she is in 3rd place. She is just 1.5 seconds back on 2nd place, Jamie Coward. He can't afford to back off there. William Dunlop is 9 seconds down on Maria Costello in 4th place. That gap just starting to get a little bit bigger from the grandstand. It was 5 seconds when they went down Glen Crutchley Road, now up to 9 seconds. So Maria got a little bit of a charge going and could well start to sneak up on Jamie Coward as the race progresses. A rider we noted on the timesheet is number 86, Will Loader, started in 42nd place. He was 27th quickest to Glen Helen on the opening lap. Followed him round the lap. He was still holding 27th place at Ramsey Hairpin. And notice from the programme he's riding a matchless that could go 4 laps without refueling, so he may well creep inside the top 20 as the race progresses. So that's a guy to watch out for. Will Loader on number 86. Started in 42nd position. He's gained 15 places already. A couple of retirements there again at the end of that first lap, and he's going to be nudging towards the top 20 even as we speak. And if he can do 4 laps without a refuel, he may well find himself quite a way up the leaderboard. So a great ride from Will Loader. As we're quiet here, it is Josh Brooks. We'll just quick recap of that leaderboard. Number 8, Josh Brooks, leads number 2, Jamie Coward, by 36 seconds. In 3rd place, number 7, Maria Costello. She is 1.5 seconds down on Jamie Coward. And in 4th place at the moment, number 6, William Dunlop. He is 9 seconds down on Maria Costello. It was Bill Swallow who was in 5th place, and William Dunlop had a 25-second advantage over him at the grandstand, and that looks like it's going to continue. Next man on the road, I think, should be number 10, Ollie Lindsdale. Tried to keep an ear out for who went through and who didn't go through at the end of that first lap. I think Ollie Lindsdale went straight through at the grandstand, so he'll be running next on the road. Bill Swallow, of course, picked up a penalty in the pits. And here is the next machine, and it is number 10, Ollie Lindsdale. Again, nice and steady from Ollie, but he was in 13th place at the grandstand. but of course Michael Dunlop's time is in there, and he retired, of course, at the end of that first lap, so that'll shake itself out as they steam through here. 17 and 18 together on the road. James Cowton and Michael Russell, and James Cowton just slipping behind Michael Russell on corrected time. Michael Russell into 5th place at the moment. 2 together. 16 and 15. Bill Swallow and Dominic Herbertson, but of course Bill Swallow, with the penalty at the end of that lap, drops himself down a little bit. Dom Herbertson into 7th place, but he's fueled to the end of the race now. 12 and 19 through. 12 is Chris Swallow, 19 is James Hillier. James Hillier finds himself now inside the top 10. He is up to 7th place with all the adjustments at the end of that lap. James Hillier creeping up to 7th place. Here's Alan Oversby. Right, there is quite a bit of smoke from that, but seems to be going okay. Doesn't sound out of sorts at all. Alan Oversby, 9th place we have him, but I'm not sure what time adjustment has been done or hasn't been done, so we'll need to keep an eye on that and see if he progresses his way any further up the leaderboard. It is Josh Brooks from Jamie Coward, Maria Costello 3rd, William Dunlop 4th, Michael Russell now 5th place, number 18 Mike Russell. I think when Chris was talking to him, he said if he managed a top 5 finish, he'd be over the moon. Well, he's got his foot in the door. I know it's early days, but foot in the door counts for a little bit. That's Horst Seiger, just inside the top 10. Horst hanging to 10th position at the moment, 2 seconds down on 9th place Alan Oversby, assuming that time is correct. Next machine into the left-hander here at the bottom of Craig Willis Hill. It is Mark Herbertson. And Mark Herbertson, he just nudges his way into the top 10 now. Mark Herbertson holding 9th position. So Alan Oversby, Horst Seiger and Ollie Linsdell all shuffle down that leaderboard. And the top 10, I'll go from 5th onwards. 5th was Michael Russell. In 6th place, number 17, James Cowton. He's 9 seconds down on Russell. In 7th, number 19, James Hillier. He is 9 seconds down on Cowton. In 8th place, number 15, Dominic Herbertson. He's 27 seconds down on James Hillier. 2 together on the road, 34 and 33. Steve Ferguson, Kieran Hankin. A whole lot of noise that them fellas come through on them Hondas. And they are just outside the top 10. Kieran Hankin holding 14th, but I was up to 8th place, I think, with Dominic Herbertson. 9th is number 31, Mark Herbertson, and 10th, number 5, Alan Oversby. He's 3 seconds down on Mark Herbertson. But your leader, Glenn Helen, at lap 2 is Josh Brooks with a pretty commanding 36-second lead over number 2, Jamie Coward. Back to you at the grandstand.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
Just noticing Josh Brooks around 10 miles an hour slower through the Selby speed trap, and he did lose 3 seconds on the leaderboard at Belaf as well. Jamie Coward 33.2 compared to 36.0 behind Brooks. That's the difference between Glen Helen and Belaf. So Maria Costello quickest through the speed trap, 141.9. Let's go to the Ramsey hairpin and Chris Boyd.
Indeed, perfect timing. Here is Jamie Coward. Nice and neat and tidy. Sounds absolutely beautiful going up the hill on that Tedworth Craven Manx Norton. Absolutely fantastic. He had just nibbled some time out of Josh Brooks's lead at Belaf Bridge and moved himself a little bit away from Maria Costello. He'd come back from 36 seconds to 32.8 behind Brooks, who is here now. On the machine that John McGuinness won the race on last year and set, of course, the race record. Just see, could we get an idea of Josh's time here to Ramsey on this second lap? 12 minutes 44, which compares with a lap record time of 12:23, so quite a way off John's lap record pace from last year, but he's doing more than enough to lead the race comfortably by 34 seconds as William Dunlop arrives. Closely followed by Maria Costello. So Maria on the other end of the pattern. Of course, some of these guys heading for the pits at the end of this lap, but with so many different pitting options, it's going to be lap 4 before it starts to shake out. Those top 4 through, and the revised leaderboard here at Ramsey lap 2. Josh Brooks leads the way on the pattern by 34.16 seconds. Bike 8 over bike 2, Jamie Coward, and then Maria Costello now 9.8 seconds behind Coward in third. So Coward is moving away from Maria Costello there, but Maria's in her own battle with William Dunlop on the Davies Honda. He's in fourth, 4.95 seconds or so behind Maria Costello. And now we start the big wait. We think it's about a 2.5 minute gap on the road before we see another machine. So we will take the opportunity to flick back to Balaf and just get an update from there, where it was Brooks, Coward, Costello and Dunlop, and then Michael Russell in 5th on the Norton. He was, 45.6 seconds down on William Dunlop. James Cowton in 6th on his Norton, 9.1 seconds down on Russell. Then James Hillier on the Honda Drixton, 12 seconds down at Cowton, and we're hearing that Alan Oversby has machines finally expired at Balaf. It was smoking its way through here and reported as smoking its way through the pits and out through Glen Helen. So unfortunate for Alan, because he was up in the top 5 here, or the early part of the race indeed. So Cowton at Balaf in 6th, James Hillier in 7th on the Drixton Honda, then Dominic Herbertson going very well on his Honda in 8th, Bill Swallow on the pattern in 9th, and Oversby was showing there in 10th place, but obviously he's now out of the race, so that will move Mark Herbertson into the top 10 with Horst Seiger 11th and Oliver Linsdell next up. We're waiting to hear, can we hear any noise rising? Because we know we've got this big gap on the road. This front gaggle of 4 have broken a long, long way away. Brooks, Coward, Costello and William Dunlop. Unfortunate for Michael Dunlop that he's a retirement in the pits at the end of lap 1. One or two of the big names falling out early, but such is the nature of classic bike racing, especially on the mountain course. The ultimate test, really, isn't it, for all of these machines, and particularly for these kind of older senior Classic 500 machines. So we think the next man on the road possibly will be Oliver Linsdell. We'll see if he's through Sulby, actually, see if we've got a speed time for him through Sulby. Yep, 133.7 miles an hour down the Sulby straight on the Enfield Bullet. Maria Costello quickest down Sulby this lap. Oh, here we go, 3 of them together. 10, 17 and 18. And Dominic Herbertson getting quite racy to get past Ollie Linsdell on the exit off the hairpin here. Suddenly 4 or 5 of them burst into view. So we had Michael Russell there, James Cowton, James Hillier, Dominic Herbertson, Bill Swallow and Ola Linsdell all through in the space of seconds. A real battle on the road going on. We'll bring you that updated leaderboard. We'll take 19 through next, which is Hillier. Smoking a little bit again, like she was the last time through here at Ramsey Hairpin, but she clears as soon as he puts the throttle down and gets her away up the hill from here, so it's not a major problem, that's for sure. So Brooks then leads by 34.16 seconds over Coward. Maria Costello 9.8 seconds down on Coward. William Dunlop 4.9 down on Maria Costello as Chris Swallow heads through. Wider line for him right out towards the bank, but he's okay and away. And then behind that front 4, they're a long way away clear on the road. Michael Russell now slots into 5th place, 52.3 seconds down on William Dunlop. James Cowton sits 6th, 9.6 seconds down on Michael Russell. James Hillier is 7th, 11.6 behind Cowton. Dominic Herbertson in 8th, 14.9 behind Hillier. Bill Swallow in 9th, 24.7 down on Herbertson. And Ollie Linsdell in 10th, 18.3 behind. We've had Horst Seiger just popped into 10th place there, so we'll see him. He comes into view. We'll just take him around the hairpin here. And then we'll see what happens, whether or not they play pit stop roulette once again as we head back to the TT Grandstand.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
At the bungalow, Josh Brooks nearly 37 seconds ahead of number 2, Jamie Coward. Maria Costello has made it up to the bungalow. She's 11.3, though, down on Coward. And the first spike at Cronknamona is number 2, Jamie Coward. Maria Costello 11.3 down on Coward at the bungalow, but she's 6.3 ahead of William Dunlop. And that gap between Maria Costello and William Dunlop keeps oscillating both ways. Some sections Maria is making time up, but in others, particularly from Ballaugh Bridge to Ramsey, William is eating into that advantage. Josh Brooks now is at Cronknamona, and it's an increasing advantage, 38.259 seconds that Brooks leads Coward. When is Brooks going to make that splash and dash? Will they do what they did a year ago and do it at the end of lap 3, or will they do it on lap 2? Looking down at the pit, and Chris is there in position as well if he does choose to come in, but number 8, Josh Brooks, is safely at Cronknamona, as is number 6 and 7, and that is 2 through. And let's just have a look at the time there, 110.054 there on the Norton for Jamie Coward. Quite exceptional, that, as we await the green machine, the pattern of Josh Brooks to come into view, and I think he's going to go straight through. He is indeed. 110.539 miles per hour for Josh Brooks on his second lap, and he is 38.697 seconds ahead. Brooks leads Coward. Patton leads Norton, 36.7 seconds, the margin that Josh Brooks currently enjoys. Looking to Cronknamona, and safely there are number 7 and 6, Maria Costello and William Dunlop. There's William. And Maria is coming in. So Maria Costello on the little pattern is coming in. Let's go down to Chris.
Yeah, she was in third place, about 13.5 seconds back off Jamie Coward, and 5 seconds ahead of Dunlop. But Dunlop will now get ahead because Maria's into the pit as we speak. William Dunlop at 108.912 on that lap, and Maria's in now also for that fuel sub. Just a quick splash and dash. The push the bike back onto compression again. The gap is 19.1. So Brooks leads by 38.697 ahead from Coward, and Coward from Costello is 19.124. But William Dunlop was only 3/4 of a second back off Maria Costello. And don't forget, she had to slow down for the pit stop. So the fuel's in, everything's done nice and steady. Let's hopefully they can get it to fire up. Ooh, just a little bit of jump there, but it does get going. The mechanic covers his feet well. Tim O'Hanlon has the pit lane limiter and the pit lane time thing running. So we'll get on her spot in a minute and find out exactly what the gap is there. Tim?
Well, it was 45.5 seconds, Maria's stop, and that will put her down. But it depends whether you say Josh Brooks will not going to have to stop for the last lap. Jamie Coward won't. Yeah. So that's going to be very close with 38 seconds between them.
And William Dunlop might have to stop last lap as well.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Tim, back to you.
We're certainly, this race is going to all unfold on that last lap with the different pit strategies and the different bikes that don't have to pit at all. So let's look at Maria's lap then. 108.511 miles per hour her second lap. She was 19.1 down on Jamie Coward. Coward 110.054. Great lap that on the Little Norton, and 110.539 miles per hour for Josh Brooks. William Dunlop 108.912 miles per hour, and as Chris was saying, just 3/4 of a second down. Let's give you some retirements as we await the next bike interview. And Alec Whitwell retired at Quarterbridge, perfectly okay. We've told you, of course, about Locker, Harrison and Rutter. Number 26, Heffin Owen, retired at Alpine Cottage. Number 49, Keith Clark, a retirement at Glendarroch Road. Michael Dunlop we know about in the pits. Number 43, Alex Sinclair, a retirement at Joey's. Number 80, Roy Phipps, a retirement at Glen Duff. Number 77, David Burrell, he is a retirement at the 32nd milestone. They're all making their own arrangements or being picked up, all okay, but those are up to date on the retirements. So 3 bikes should be coming into view very shortly indeed. Here we go, 1, 2 of them anyway, and there's the third. 15, 18 and 17 across the line, and let's give you the times for them. So into 5th position is number 18, Michael Russell, 106.295 miles per hour on that lap. 6th is number 17 at the moment, James Cowton. 16 goes through Bill Swallow and Ollie Linsdell on the Linsdell Enfield. So Michael Russell is in 5th position. 6th, number 17, James Cowton on his Norton, 105.966 on the second lap. Into the pits is number 19, just gone through there. James Hillier. Let's just see what the pit strategy is there, Chris Kinley.
Well, James Hillier, Tim, in roughly when they went through Cronknamona in about 7th place. Let's see what he does now. Slots in to 7th place. 13.7s back off James Cowton, who's in 6th. Michael Russell in 5th. William Dunlop 4th. Maria Costello 3rd. Jamie Coward 2nd. Josh Brooks still leading, though. Dave Christian. Glenn Helen.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. That's Jamie Coward through here on his 3rd lap now. And should be a little bit of a gap before we get number 8, Josh Brooks, through, but it's going to be all action in pit lane at the end of this lap when we'll finally get a little bit of an idea about what's going on. I think at the top order it's pretty much safe to predict at the moment. Number 8, Josh Brooks, through here. The lead 38 seconds, no change there really from the grandstand, maybe 2/10, but that's negligible. I think the top 4 or 5 are pretty much okay, but outside of that, things start to get a little bit complicated. We know that Dominic Herbertson has been into the pits, and he's going to run to the end, most likely. We know that Michael Russell wants to do splash and dash at the end of lap 3, so he's going to drop down a little bit. Maria's already pitted, but Jamie Coward, Josh Brooks haven't come in yet. William Dunlop may also have to pit, just don't know. Bill Swallow's definitely been in, so he's going to pick up a little bit of time. That's number 6, William Dunlop, through now. In 3rd place, just behind Jamie Coward. 23 seconds the gap between William Dunlop and Jamie Coward. So with all that happening at the top end, James Hillier into the pits as well. Maria Costello, as I said, already pitted. Bill Swallow has been in. He picked up a pit lane speed and penalty, so he may pick up some time as well, although he's 40 seconds down on Dom Herbertson, who has already been in. Horst Seiger just behind Bill Swallow at the grandstand at the end of lap 2. Horst Seiger not pitted yet either. And it will be at the end of this lap that we get a little bit of an idea of what's going on. I'm hearing that Ollie Linsdell, number 10, Ollie Linsdell, retired at Quarterbridge. So bad luck for Ollie there. He's not going to make it to the conclusion. Next machine now on the road. Little flick to the right. Knee out. That's Maria Costello. Drifts nice and wide on the exit, but keeps that corner speed going. She is now 4th place, Maria Costello. She is 48 seconds behind William Dunlop. So 48 seconds the gap. I think Tim O'Hanlon said that her pit stop was about 45 seconds. So if William Dunlop does have to pit at the end of this lap, Maria is going to be very, very close to him. So the scrap is on for that third podium position. But at the moment, it's Josh Brooks and Jamie Coward who look to have the top two steps pretty much sewn up. They've got a 22-second gap between second and third place. And Josh Brooks, as I said, he's going to have to start thinking about machine conservation. He has a 38-second lead and doesn't want to chuck that away at this late stage in the race. The grandstand at the end of that lap, I see Steve Ferguson crept into 15th place so far for Steve Ferguson. And the man we were following, Will Loader, he's gained a place or two. He'll gain another one with Ollie Linsdell dropping as well. He was in 26th place. That's Will Loader on number 86. 26th place at Glen Helen on lap 2. And he'd held that up Ballaugh Bridge. But as I say, with Ollie Linsdell dropping out of the pit lane there, Will Loader will gain another place. So great ride from him on that Matchless. Other names that are picked out on the leaderboard, Arthur Browning, number 62. Arthur Browning up to 31st position at Glen Helen on lap 2. And a right old scrap at 19th place, Lance Unisart. He's riding 42. Lance and Meredith Owen having a scrap over 9th place. Meredith Owen just less than a half a second behind Lance Unisart on corrected time. So nice little battle going down there at the edge of the top 20. But at the top of the race, there is only one man. It is Josh Brooks. He's led from start to finish. Just one more lap and a bit to go. Although we will have, like I said, that action in pit lane if he needs to come in for fuel. Two machines now. Three out of Exeter Glen Helen 2. 15, 17, 18 all together on the road. Dominic Herbertson, James Cowton and Michael Russell. Michael Russell still holds 5th place. He is 20 seconds down on Maria Costello. In 6th place, it's number 17 now, James Cowton. He's 9 back on Russell. That's 16, Bill Swallow. Bill Swallow, does he get in there? Not quite. Bill Swallow holds 8th place at the moment. He is just 39 seconds down on Dom Herbertson. Both of those guys have, however, pitted. James Cowton on number 17 hasn't, and Michael Russell hasn't. We definitely know Michael Russell's going to pit because he indicated that in the chat with Chris Kinley before the start of the race. James Cowton, we don't know whether he's going in or not, but he is just 18 seconds clear, is James Cowton, of Dominic Herbertson in 7th. So a 45-second pit stop there and thereabouts will give Herbertson top 6th place and maybe a little bit better. So Michael Russell just wanting that top 5, he said beforehand. He's just holding that 5th place at the moment, with pit stop to come. Josh Brooks, though, leads Jamie Coward, with William Dunlop 3rd. This is lap 3 at Glen Helen. Back to you at the TT commentary point at the grandstand, powered by MediaTek Advertising.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
Well, Michael Russell will be, of course, the leading privateer at the moment in 5th position. But Josh Brooks, well, quite astonishing. Jamie Coward arrived at Ballaugh Bridge on our timing sheets. Only 4 bikes had gone through Glen Helen at that point, and only 19 had completed 2 laps here at the grandstand. That is how spread out this race has become. At Ballaugh Bridge, 37.3 is the margin that Brooks enjoys over Coward. Coward won't pit pit. William Dunlop, we think, will. Brooks has to as well. Maria Costello has already pitted. Maria is 51.8 seconds down in fourth. On third place, number 6, William Dunlop. See if we've got any more retirements. Just well, Bruno Leroy at Solby Bridge, and as we were hearing, Ollie Linsdell, a retirement at the Quarter Bridge. So it is a very, very attritional affair, as it usually is. Let's go to Ramsey Hairpin and Chris Boyd.
Yep, where we await Jamie Coward, who we think is still first on the road from Josh Brooks, certainly at Ballaugh Bridge. That was the case. Let's just see, can we hear the noise start to rise? There is something in the area, I think, but it's not into view just yet. We'll wait for it to burst through. Stella Maris on the... Here we go. Oh, right out wide, really racy line from Jamie this time round. Yeah, that's Hedworth, Craven, Manx Norton gone really sweetly still. Now we must wait for Brooks to arrive. It was, 37 seconds at Ballaugh Bridge. What's it going to be here at Ramsey? Here he is. Well, he has the pattern away and leading now by 40 seconds. It goes above 40 seconds for the first time. 40.1 seconds. But Coward, we think, doesn't have to pit. Brooks possibly does. And so... well, we'll just wait and see whether or not that factors out. We've also got that same situation between third and fourth, where Maria Costello has already pitted, as Tim was saying, and William Dunlop hasn't, but we think might have to at the end of this lap, and there was only 51 seconds between them at Ballaugh Bridge, which would be right on that pit stop kind of window, so that could make for a very interesting battle between third and fourth for William and Maria, and we should see William Dunlop next interview here at Ramsey Hairpin. He was 26.7 seconds down on Coward at Ballaugh. Here he is. Throws the throttle down on the Davies Motorsport Honda, and it's gone out to 29.9 seconds behind Coward now. It's 26.7 at Ballaugh Bridge, so that gap between second and third is pushing out each time. One or two reflections just while we wait for Maria Costello, who should be next on the previous lap. We just had a bit of an interesting moment between about 78 and 81, Jeff Smith and Rod Graham pushing one another right out on the exit of the hairpin here. We thought the bank was going to come into play, but they managed to sort themselves out just about and hit the brakes and get it all corrected and get themselves away. The widest line that we've seen up here all day was from Keith Dixon, 47, on the Matchless. He went really wide here on that last lap, and Steve Ferguson and Kieran Hankin, 33 and 34, they were having a nice little duel into here as well once we went off air on the second lap. So we're still awaiting Maria Costello. We can hear a noise start to rise. She'll be coming up through White Gates into Stella Maris, and here she is. Nice, neat, tidy line on the pattern. Slightly wider on the exit, but allowed us to get the power down nice and early, but it's gone out again, that gap. William was 51.8 seconds ahead of her at Ballaugh Bridge. It's out now to 54.9, so it's moving William Dunlop's way if he does have to stop even at the end of this lap, because it probably won't take him 55 seconds to do effectively a splash and dash for one lap, although of course you've got the issue of finding the right level for just one lap rather than brimming it for 2 or 3 as the case may be earlier on in the race. Just trying to judge it correctly to give him enough and make sure it's not overdone will be the factor for the team, but I'm sure they'll be well used to that. We'll go back to Ballaugh because we know we've got this big gap on the road now. Michael Russell was still holding 5th place at Ballaugh, 19.9 seconds down on Maria Costello. James Cowton then into 6th, 6.6 seconds down on Russell. Dominic Herbertson, who was looking very racy through here on the last lap as he tried to get around Ollie Linsdell. He's 7th, 20.1 seconds down on Cowton. Then Bill Swallow in 8th, 38.4 seconds down on Dominic Herbertson. James Hillier in 9th, 23.4 seconds down on Swallow. And Horst Seiger, 10th, 24.8. He moved into the top 10 here on the last lap and has been holding on to that position. So this is at Ballaugh. Mark Herbertson, 11th, and Chris Swallow in 12th. We think we can hear engine noises. We think we might be getting another machine coming into view. It may well be Linsdell or possibly James Cowton. We'll wait and see. Cowton, we think, says Pat. Oh, Linsdell, Pat thinks, okay. In fact, he was absolutely on the button last night during the practice session. He was hand timing Michael Dunlop's lap, and he was within 0.05 of a second on Michael Dunlop's flying lap against the 0.02. He's corrected me. He was even more correct than we were thinking. It was absolutely brilliant piece of hand timing by Pat O'Hanlon here in the commentary box. Here we go. Finally, we get some more riders. And here's Dominic Herbertson, and then James Cowton. Followed immediately by 18, Michael Russell. So Ollie Linsdale does seem to be dropping backwards. Oh, in fact, he's out, isn't he? Linsdale retired at the Quarterbridge, of course. That's why we're waiting for him, but he's not going to get here. He's out of the race. Bill Swallow, next man interview. Goes away nicely up the window. So the leaderboard then, from fourth downwards, Michael Russell is still fourth, as he was at Wallach, 21.6 seconds now down on Costello. Then Cowton in sixth, Dominic Herbertson in seventh, and Bill Swallow in eighth. And that's all we've got time for from here at Ramsey Hairpin on Lamprey, Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade, stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories, and the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
Up at the bungalow, Josh Brooks has extended his lead over Jamie Coward to 46.7 seconds. Third is William Dunlop, and Dunlop is 53 seconds ahead of fourth place, Maria Costello. It's all going to unfold, though, at the end of lap 3 and into lap 4. Coward will be going through. Brooks, well, splash and dash, we reckon. William Dunlop possibly a splash and dash too. Maria Costello has already been in here to the pits, and Jamie Coward, the light on now for number 2. Jamie Coward has made it to Cronknamona, and well, is he going to do another 108 mile an hour or so lap? That's what he said on the start line. If I do 4 108 laps, I won't be too far away. And it was up to the others to see if they can beat that. But Josh Brooks also now at Cronknamona, and a growing advantage as well. 49.45 seconds is the advantage that Josh Brooks now has over Jamie Coward. A few of the lower order runners and riders will be coming through first. And coming into the pits is number 83. So the next bike interview should be Jamie Coward, and he should be going straight through. And then I can see the Winfield team are ready for Josh Brooks to come in. Here's Coward, and we should hear the klaxon sound very shortly. And Coward will check on his time there. Coward 110.057. But here is Josh Brooks down to Chris.
Well, Jamie Coward's going to have 2 slower riders at the back of the Senior Classic field to contend with in a few moments' time. Josh Brooks right in front of me here now. The gap at Cronknamona was 49.45. We've got number 83, your retirement here in the paddock now. As he came into the pit stop, the lead was 47.233. 47.233. Tim O'Hanlon's got the stopwatch going. Also the electronic timing on. That's all it is. As little as fuel as that is in. The rear starter is on. The foot peg goes on. Just a little bit more time being lost there now. She's just not firing up. So that's a bit more time there. She stopped there now. So he's going to have to go back onto the starter. So this could be where the race is completely won or lost here with the number 8 machine. Jamie Coward is getting further and further on down the road. There you go. Take it steady. Don't get a pit lane limiter. Take it nice and easy. That's nice and good, Josh. 46 kilometres an hour. So, Tim, what was that pit stop for Josh Brooks time-wise?
Very bad. It was 53.6 seconds, which is about 8 seconds slower than the average.
Okay, so losing a fair bit of time. Here's William Dunlop in at the moment. William in that third place, but we've got to keep an eye on Maria because it'll be William that stops. Josh Brooks's lap time there was 110.823. Jamie Coward 110.057. But William Dunlop is in. I think just a little quick splash of fuel, a little bit of Mr. Sheen or Pledge or whatever it is onto the visor there just to give it a bit of a clean. William's lap time there 108.616. 36 seconds back off Jamie Coward. But Maria Costello will keep it a little eye on as we get to Cronk-the-Moan. Maria was 53 seconds back off William Dunlop, and William has lost a bit more time there. You hear the Honda fire up into life. Maria will become ambassadors any minute now. I would say she won't be too far away. But there's William already heading under the RST Bannered Bridge and down over the top of St Ninians. But it's Maria that we're waiting for next. Tim O'Hanlon.
That was the fastest pit stop, 39.9. So Maria was at 45 seconds, but she also lost 5 seconds on William slowing down.
There she is. She's across the line now. Up to Tim.
Thanks very much, Tim and Chris down there. Yes, Maria Costello, 104.270 miles per hour, but of course that does include the pit stop at the end of the previous lap. William Dunlop coming into the pits this time, 108.616 miles per hour. So coming into the pits, Brooks had a 47.2 second advantage over Jamie Coward, but as we've been hearing, Brooks 53.6 lost here in the pit stop. William Dunlop, well, he was quick, 39.9, and he had a 51 second advantage over Maria Costello. So it's going to be very, very interesting for first and second, and very close as well between third and fourth positions. Let's just take a look at the retirement screen. Any more that we can bring you? Yep, we can tell you that Russell Robury, number 63, retired at Craignabar, and also a retirement for number 47, Keith Dixon, at Ballacrane. So let's go to that leaderboard then, and Josh Brooks 110.823 miles per hour. Jamie Coward 110.057 miles per hour. William Dunlop 108.616 miles per hour. And Maria Costello, including that pit stop, 104.270. The lights on for 17, 18, 15 and 16 at Cronk-the-Moan. First of those that we should see, I think, will be number 15, Dominic Herbertson, into view. Can hear a machine coming along Glencrutchy Road. Let's check out the number. It is 15, Dominic Herbertson. He's safely through on the Honda. And a couple more machines. He just seems to have pulled a little bit of a gap out on the remaining company that he had there. But two, he's going to be even further ahead because the two that were in company are now coming into the pits. And that is, of course, 15 through 18 and 17 into the pits. Let's go down to Chris.
James Cowton has pulled into his pits, and well, I don't think the team are ready for him there actually. And number 18 is also in there, but Cowton's in. Herbertson's gone straight through, so that stretched it out at all. But Cowton in with a bit of a problem. Dave Christian, Glenn Helen.
Yes, thanks, Chris. That was just one of the higher start numbers, but this one is moving a little bit quicker. That is Jamie Coward. See the suspension working hard as he comes through that left-hander. The rear suspension bouncing around over the rumble patch in the middle of the road. A little bit of a rough strip in the tarmac, but no problems at all for him. Sailed round here, and we've got a race on. Just waiting for the number 8 machine now of Josh Brooks. And it says splash and dash, and see how much he can build up in the early part of the race and claw it back later on. It's 87 come through here. That is Kevin Miller. A little bit of traffic ahead of Jamie Coward as well. Rod Graham, number 81, fabulous looking Ducati. He was not too far up the road. And here's another slower moving machine. That's number 76. 76, Andy Wilson. And Josh Brooks may well have to negotiate a little bit of traffic on the way, and here is a very fast-moving machine taking traffic on the way. It's Josh Brooks, the fabulous start, a little bit of a wobble mid-corner, but carried that corner speed so well. And Glen Helen on lap 4, Josh Brooks leads Jamie Coward by a fifth of a second. It is game on the last lap here at Glen Helen. 0.252 of a second. That's a great sector from Josh Brooks. We think he was just behind on their pit lane. And Roy Sweetman here's hand timing has got them exactly level, but the electronic timing, the official race timing system, has a gap of 0.252 seconds, so they are neck and neck. But remember, qualifying speed, Josh Brooks was about 9 or 10 seconds a lap quicker than Jamie Coward, so it looks like he's going to keep that pressure on, but could all come down to a little bit of traffic along the way, and there's bikes in front of both of them. I said Rod Graham was in front of Jamie Coward, so is Tony Ainley and Russell Rovery, so a little bit of work to be done. That's number 6, William Dunlop. But we need to see Maria Costello's time, number 7. She was in 4th place at the start and finish line. William Dunlop at the moment 3rd place. Next machine it is, number 7. And she again really runs wide on the exit, but 8 seconds is the gap. William Dunlop holds 3rd place, Maria Costello 4th place, number 7, and she is 8 seconds down on 3rd place, William Dunlop. But can't recall a race being quite so tight here on the final lap. Less than half a second split in first and second. But just remember, Josh Brooks' lap times are considerably quicker than Jamie Coward. And I think Josh Brooks should just about pull away now at the front of the race. But judged it just about to perfection, building up that lead in the early part of the race, knowing that he had to stop for fuel. And Jamie Coward just having to go head down and backside up and keep it on from start to finish and hope he can build enough time to take Josh Brooks in that pit stop, but just hasn't quite worked. But a fifth of a second is the gap, and that is really, really tight. And with a little bit of traffic in amongst it all, it's going to make for an interesting last 2/3 of a lap. Riders we were watching, give a mention as well, because Will Loader having a great race, number 86. Glen Helen on lap 3, he was up to 22nd place. And not too far away from him was Lee Jennings. That's machine number 71. Lee Jennings, 23rd place at Glen Helen on lap 2. And those guys having a real good run-up from their lower start numbers. I think Will Loader started in 42nd position, I think. So he's made 20 places. At the grandstand, Michael Russell was just holding on to that 5th place. That was his target for the race, a top 5, I think, and he's only got a 7-second advantage there over Dominic Herbertson. And remember, Dom Herbertson had come in at the end of the first lap, and Michael Russell was coming in at the end of lap 3, so we should see a position change there. And Michael Russell might just drop in behind Dominic Herbertson, but that all will be revealed as the bikes come streaming through the valley here at Glen Helen and cross the timing beam at the entrance to the car park. That is number 15, Dominic Herbertson, and he is currently holding that 5th place, but Michael Russell on number 18, he shouldn't be that far away now, and Michael Russell's adjusted time, we'll see whether or not he's going to make that top 5 finish, but at the top end, you can't separate them. There's a fag paper between them, as they say. Josh Brooks and Jamie Coward, a fifth of a second separating number 8 and number 2. Next machine into the left-hander, that's number 16 of Phil Swallow. And he pitted earlier on in the race as well, so 6th place for Bill Swallow, 48 seconds in behind Dominic Herbertson. He's had a 30-second pit lane penalty as well, so he's not going to be too unhappy, I wouldn't think, with that 6th place. 48 seconds a gap. The pit penalty hasn't really affected it, but Michael Russell is the one we need to get through, and I'm just wondering if we'll have enough time to do that. We'll hang on for a few seconds more, but at the top of the race, it's number 8, Josh Brooks, leads Jamie Coward by a fifth of a second. In 3rd place at the moment, it's number 6, William Dunlop. He is 1 minute and 18 seconds down on Jamie Coward. In 4th place, number 7, Maria Costello. She's 8 seconds down on William Dunlop. And in 5th place at the moment, number 15, Dominic Herbertson, who is 48 seconds down on Maria Costello. Back to you at the Manx Radio TT Commentary Point, powered by MediaTek Advertising.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
At Ballaugh Bridge, Josh Brooks 4 seconds ahead of number 2, Jamie Coward, and William Dunlop, well, he's a minute and 20 seconds behind Coward, but importantly for him, he's 10.6 seconds ahead of 4th place, number 7, Maria Costello. Josh Brooks is still the quickest. That was on his opening lap, 146.8 at Solby, 145.3 on this last lap. So that has certainly got us a bit of a wiggle on again here as another rider goes past us here. That is number 27 through. 27, of course, is Dave Madston Migdal. So Josh Brooks, it was 0.2 at Glen Helen that his lead was, as it always revealed after the pit stops. 0.2 at Glen Helen, Brooks led Coward. 4 seconds at Ballaugh Bridge. What's it going to be at Ramsey Hairpin? Chris Boyd.
We'll wait and see. They're going to be in amongst the traffic. There's Tony Turtle, 73, and 65, Richard Stott heading through. But of course the man we're looking for is Jamie Coward, and then pretty quickly behind him, Josh Brooks. So out to 4 seconds. Here is Coward. Drives nice and neatly in, still gets the knee down. Nice tight little line, gets the power away. On the Tedworth Norton, going very, very nicely. All 4 laps he's trying to do on the one tank. Let's make sure that 4 laps at sort of 108, 110 pace are doable on that machine. That's one of the considerations, is making sure that at this pace it will get all 4 laps out of it. Now we sit and wait for Brooks, bike number 8. 4 seconds he had it up to at Ballaugh. He has had a quicker pace on the pattern, so let's just see what he drives it out to here, if anything, or has Coward come back at him? Oh, it's great to have a race on at Ramsey on lap 4. We're waiting, we're waiting. He should be here very soon. Oh, he is. Racy line. Moves past 81 on the way in. Rod Graham, who goes very, very wide on the exit, but make sure he's well out of Brooks's way. And wow, the news here is Brooks has piled it on. 10 seconds he's put onto the lead between Ballaugh and here at Ramsey. 14.3 seconds now Brooks lead. He has just over a second a mile in hand. 12 and a quarter or so miles to do from here back to the checkered flag. So 14.3 seconds it's gone out to. Brooks leads Coward, but still nowhere near done and dusted just yet when you're talking about classic racing on the mountain course. 88, the next one is Jim. 86, I think it was. Will Loader, perhaps, on the actual sheets. And 1 or 2 just riders from the last lap. Arthur Browning, who's hunting a top 25 position, he went right up the inside of Lee Jennings here at the hairpin. Lee had to just sit the bike up as Arthur was on a bit of a charge. Got into here and got past him and away up the hill. He's going really, really well. Arthur, bike number 62 on the Sealy. He's on here this weekend and going really well. And now here is William Dunlop, the next man we're waiting for. Oh, it's a very wide line. Chimes her back in. Just a little bit of overrun there on the Davies Motorsport Honda. He just ran her a little bit wide as he came in, just knock a bit more pace off. Managed to do so. It's Kevin Miller, 87. Previous lap, and here is Maria Costello. So let's see what the news is on the battle for third. Nice tiny line for Maria as the spectators applaud her through here on the final lap. That difference has gone out as well. William now ahead of Maria by 13.5 seconds, and that's up from 10.6 at Ballaugh. So both gaps just going out slightly. Brooks moves the gap out for the race win from 4 seconds out to 14, and William Dunlop moves the gap out in the battle for third from 10.6 to 13.4 36.5. Still all to play for over the mountain on the final lap of this Senior Classic TT. And now we know there's a big gap on the road here as we wait next for Dominic Herbertson. We'll look back at Ballaugh. Herbertson did hold 5th still at Ballaugh. 10.6 seconds down on Costello, then Bill Swallow in 6th, 59.1 seconds down now on Herbertson. Michael Ruffle, 16.8 seconds down on Swallow in 7th, and James Hillier in 8th, 27 seconds down on Michael Ruffle. And there are still only those 8 riders through Ballaugh, as the front end of the field have been way and gone from here at Ramsey Hairpin for a good couple of minutes. And we'll keep an eye on the bungalow just to make sure we clock the leaders on the road through there. So we'll just have a look at Sulby and see what the speeds were at Sulby on this lap. I think Tim bought 1 or 2 of them. Let's see whether any more have filtered in. Brooks quickest on this lap, 145.3. Then Maria Costello, 139.2 on the pattern. Bill Swallow, 136.4 on his pattern. William Dunlop, 134.8 on the Honda. Let's see if anybody else has made it to Ballaugh even. They have. Horse Saiga has now made it to Ballaugh in 9th place on the Eagly Vincent, and Chris Swallow is there as well, showing it 10th at the moment on the BSA as we await. Well, Coward is now at the bungalow, so we'll just keep an eye on that for when Brooks comes through and just monitor that gap for the race victory. This is a racier approach. This is Herbertson. Whoa, again out towards the hedge here on the exit. It was a racy approach. It was a racy line through the hairpin as well. He wasn't leaving anything behind there, that's for sure. Brooks has now made the bungalow, and the gap's gone out still more. Another 10 seconds, 24.4 seconds now. Brooks leads Coward by at the bungalow on the final lap of this Bennett Senior Classic TT. Herbertson then through here, and that means the next man we should be waiting for, I think, will be Bill Swallow, possibly on bike number 16. We'll wait, just see if we can get him through on the pattern. There is a bike in the vicinity, see if it's him. It is indeed. We'll take Bill Swallow through. So our top 6 here at the Ramsey Hairpin on lap 4. Brooks, Coward, William Dunlop, Maria Costello, Dominic Herbertson and Bill Swallow. We'll make sure we get back to the grandstand in good time for the race finish. Back to the TT grandstand.
What are you taking home from this year's TT? Visit Motorsport Merchandise and take home more than just memories. Motorsport Merchandise are the proud producers of all official TT clothing. Find them directly behind the grandstand, next door to Marks & Spencer's Douglas, or at Manx Shirts on the Promenade. Stockists of the entire TT range. So make it official. Take home TT clothing for more than just memories. And the perfect reminder of your Isle of Man TT.
Would owners of domestic animals and livestock adjoining the TT course please ensure that they are secure during the practice and race periods?
Manx Radio TT, powered by MediaTek Advertising. Manx Radio TT.
At the bungalow, Josh Brooks 24.4 seconds ahead of number 2, Jamie Coward. William Dunlop is 14 seconds ahead of Maria Costello. Maria has just clicked through there at the bungalow on the timing screens, but we're now going to be looking for the lights on the scoreboard opposite us here on Glen Crutchley Road to flick on to indicate a rider is at Cronknamona, and there at the ball for number 2, Jamie Coward is on as he reaches Cronknamona. The light just coming on across the way now as he is set to complete what's been a thrilling 4 laps here at the Bennett Senior Classic TT race as number 86 goes through on his last lap there. In fact, it was 66 through, my mistake. Ian Bainbridge on the Norton that was through, and Josh Brooks has made it now to Cronknamona. Light on across the way for number 8, Josh Brooks. He's 31.2 seconds clear at Cronknamona as 85 goes through. That's David Linstall on the Royal Enfield. And the next bike into view should be Jamie Coward. What a ride it has been by Coward. I can see our man with the checkered flag is now unfurling it, puts it out, gives it a wave, and here he is, Jamie Coward. What a performance that is from him on the Ted Wolfe Norton. He is safely through, almost certainly into second place, because Josh Brooks has come out of the dip at Governors and should be next into view, our race winner for the Bennett Senior Classic TT. The flag is readied for him. It's about to give him his first win. Program's waved in the air. Thunder from down under. Josh Brooks wins it. A final lap, including the pit stop, of 108. An Aussie rider, Italian bike, the green part of the national flag. Delight for Roger and Pat Winfield. And Josh Brooks has won a race around the mountain course. Whoever doubted that he would when he first made his debut here. A class act. Josh Brooks takes victory in the margin. 34 seconds. We're going to have a little wait until we confirm who's in third position. Between that battle, it appears, between William Dunlop and Maria Costello. William is the favourite, so let's cross down to Chris to get this reaction for Josh Brooks' first mountain course victory. Chris?
Yeah, Jamie Coward in with a good reception, but here he is on the pattern. The race win, 34 seconds for number 8, Josh Brooks. Brings the Winfield pattern into position, rolls it up to that number 1 spot. The first time he's been in that spot. Is it going to be the last time? No, maybe not on the classic bikes, maybe on the proper bikes at the TT. Well, I say proper bikes, the modern bikes, if you want to colour that. They're straight in there. Photographs made. We've got to keep an eye on third place. It looks like it could be William Dunlop of Cronk-Namona. He's 1 minute and 23 back, so it looks like William has that at the moment. We'll let Josh take the gloves off and see how all the hands are. And the front of the bike splattered with flies. Conditions here just about perfect. A little bit overcast overhead, should I say. And there goes the lid off. And the race win, and the cap goes on as well, full retro style. The gap at the end, 34 seconds. We'll jump in past the good lady if I can. Just let me get the sunglasses on, that's important. Stay on the bike if you want. It's not a problem. We'll stay at the same height then, don't we? Many congratulations, Josh. And I bet your heart was in your mouth on that pit stop, though, when it jumped off the jumper and it stopped.
Yeah, well, I knew I had there was a couple of boards out, so I knew I had about a 35, 36 second lead. But I knew it takes about 30 seconds odd in the pits if you do it smooth. So I knew there's nothing in it, but I didn't also want to over-rev the engine early in the race and damage it when I might not need to later. So it was sort of like a really weird balance. And then when we muffed up the pit stop, I knew I'd lost a bit of time. And then the first board that I saw, the update hadn't arrived yet. So then I waited for the second board, and it had P1 plus 0. Yeah. So it was nothing in it. I thought, oh my God, I'm just going to give it everything that the bike's got. And even if it risks damaging the engine, I just got to let it rev, you know. And Roger's built a wonderful engine and a well-prepared bike, and it brought me home to the win. So really, really pleased.
Well, the pit stop was 53 seconds. So you lost a lot of time. It was actually about 0.252 of a second was the gap at Glen Helen when you got out there. Then you pulled 4 seconds to Belaf. So as you said, you screwed the
Yeah. Like I said, there's no good revving the engine early in the race and then find out later on you didn't have to, you know. So I tried to kind of guess my way through what was the right amount of revs. I was just trying to keep all my speed up without over-revving the engine. But as I said, on that last lap, there was obviously nothing to lose, just give it everything.
Bit of traffic out there as well on that last lap coming through. We thought maybe you might have been held up a little bit by them, or did you get them in the right place, if that's the right way to say it?
Yeah, I think I arrived at the traffic in probably the best way I could. Fortunately, I just passed somebody after the Solby pub, and then shortly after that, on the brakes into Solby Bridge, there was a yellow flag. So if I'd had to ride that whole section behind another rider to be, careful of the yellows, I may have lost even more time, So I think, as you said, I arrived at the people just at the right time on the right place of the track.
The gap at the end was 34 seconds.
Yeah, well, that's good to know, because I was trying. I gave it everything I had on that last lap.
What's it feel like to be turned into that number 1 spot for the first time?
It's quite special, really. I mean, I know it's not a TT win, but it's the same course, and the riders that are riding these bikes are riding them as hard as they'll be ridden. So it's still quite special.
Conditions out on track good?
Yeah, almost perfect. A couple of damp patches, as I said before we set off, but you didn't have to, with the lowest power engines like we've got on these, you don't have to give it too much consideration, whereas a superbike, modern superbike, you might have to be a little bit more considerate, but these just sort of like roll over the damp and not much to worry about.
I bet John McGuinness is happy that you're in here as well after getting the bike. Obviously, John not here, he started the race. So, the team happy. It's a double.
Yeah, it's really nice to be able to, fill in for John, and you know, to not only fill in, but which is a great honour, but to also win the race for the team, and you know, it's just nice to be a part of that whole that whole thing.
Nice to see you with the flat cap on as well, Josh. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Well done to Josh Brooks. Gonna get the photograph done. Oh no, really? Oh gosh, okay. Been asked to be in photographs. I don't normally do this sort of thing, but these things happen. Steve wants to get in and get the thing. I'll just get out of the way because I'm going to get out of the way. And the tank's off the bike already. We'll just get past the little one there. And, well, you knew it was going to be a hard job, but those 4 laps that you did, 110, nearly 111 on that is incredible, young man. Well done.
I didn't realise, obviously, when you're riding around there, pit board's out, but obviously, I just got my head down, arse up, and away I went, you know. So I knew we were capable of doing it, because obviously you always go quicker on your practice times when you're doing your race, you know. So I knew it were there, but yeah, just all credit to the boys for putting a great bike underneath me, and it were faultless really until last lap. We had a bit of a misfire, and I thought we were going to stop at one point, and managed to get it home. So that's the main thing.
I think that'll probably be the fastest lap by a single round here, the 500 by a long, long way.
Yeah, that's obviously down to me for riding it, but these boys have put a great motorcycle underneath me, you know. So thanks to them, John and Ted and the boys. You know, it's been a good week so far. Hopefully, carry on.
Looking at the pit stop, Josh had a bit of a problem in the pits. Are you aware what the gap was at Glenelg? We getting a board on the last lap to tell you what Eden was?
I got a board going into, I don't know who it was, but thanks very much for that. I had a board going into Sulby Bridge, and it's P1 plus nothing. And I thought, I'm never going to win because it was a misfire, you know. So I thought, just forget about that and just get her home, and get on podium, which is a big achievement anyway, you know. So
Track Condition says Josh are pretty good.
Yeah, they were mint, to be honest. They were obviously down the hill, it were a bit obviously oil and dust at first, but barring that, it were mint. Yeah, good.
What's the tank off for?
We had a split actually. I didn't realise it until we just got back, but tank had a split on it, so I'm just taking it off now and taking it to all area, I think, you know. So we'll go for a beer now, I think.
I think it's well deserved, guys.
Yeah. Well done. Thanks very much. Cheers.
Well done, guys. Congratulations, you guys. And here's a privateer in, Mike Russell in. We'll get the Mike's finishing position in a moment. Let's have a little look at about 7th place. I think we'll work that out. We'll get that confirmed. And William's here. William, well, I better turn around this way because this lot like to take photographs and all that malarkey. What am I allowed about? No, I hate photographs. The gap in the N128, you had about 12.5 on Maria.
Yeah, I had no idea, to be honest. No pep boards. There was somebody gave me one. I wasn't sure whether to trust it or not, but thanks to whoever it was. And Maria passed me in the road, and she just passed me like a rocket down Crosby. And I thought, right, I'm just going to sit behind her. She's riding pretty well. And then I passed her. It's not like me to, because usually I don't like holding people up, but I was able to gap, and lucky enough I was able to keep it.
What about the rest of the race? How'd the bike run?
The bike was faultless. Started hitting quite a few neutrals, so I was scared it was going to damage the engine, but yeah, she just went like a dream all through practice and race, and just can't thank the Davies boys for building me a good motor, because I know how hard it is to get a finish here.